Well, hello and welcome to our first live event. My name is Desiree Moore, and this is my husband.
Rasuli Moore.
And together we are Happily Evermore. This live conversation is just to engage with couples, whether you are a married couple, you are a person that is dying to be married, you are a dating couple, or you are a single. This is a little segment we like to call AMA, Ask Me Anything. So here we go. We got a couple of questions lined up from singles, people that are dating or daters, people that are newly married, want to be married, or been in the game for a long time. So I'm just going to start it off with saying welcome, and while my husband makes the minor adjustments that he sees necessary.
Yeah, that's like a whole lot of head space.
Whole lot of headspace. They don't. What, you don't want them to see? Our ceiling is nice. It's nice. It's vaulted in certain areas.
We got popcorn going on.
You don't have to tell all the secrets.
They see it.
But so it's just a little about us, and we want to hear more about you. And we did get some questions that came in through the chats. We advertised a little bit. This is our first live, so bear with us. Trying to get in as much as we can. If we don't get to your question this time, there will be a next time, I promise. So first one is from a singles that we have. It says, what qualities should I look for in a potential partner for a strong, lasting marriage?
Well, don't come to me first. Let me hear what you got to say about that.
So what qualities? I will say that you got to look for the genuine qualities. You know, I know you want somebody financially sound, but what is that? Whatever is that? Because I think I've invented the definition of always wanting more. I'm never satisfied. So what is financially sound? I think ultimately you want to look for someone that is well put together, meaning they shower, they smell good, they treat you nice, respectful, the conversation is good. And you just got to get the stepping stones for a genuine, like, solid relationship. I mean, there's qualities overall. I mean, people could say you want to look for a good person, you want to do this, you want to do that. Initially, I don't care what anybody says. I think it's the overall appearance of a person. Like, you're attracted to a look. And I know it's not good to judge a book by its cover. You never want to say that, but it's true. I think my husband is incredibly sexy. He may not be for you. In fact, I know he's not for you. He's for me. And that was just this magnetic attraction initially, just off of the look. Everything else came later, and it just made it better.
So what I think that's all good, and that's cool for an initial attraction, you know. But at the end, and you know, initially I was really attracted to this. Yeah.
Is that past tense?
Nah, but really, what the question is saying, what qualities should I look for in a potential partner for a strong, lasting marriage?
Money.
Yeah, so I think that the qualities you should look for, it just depends on who you are, like what you really want. If you're really like a sincere, genuine person, and you know what you really want out of life, then think about what you really want out of life, and then think about somebody that's gonna match that life in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it could be money, but at the end of the day, what do you want money for? You know what I'm saying? So think about the reasons why you want the thing that you want, and then figure out the qualities that's just going to best match the real result that you want at the end of the day. Money might be a byproduct of something that you want, which is happiness. And a lot of us in our mind think, you know, in order for us to be happy, we have to have money. But at the end of the day, if you really want happiness, then money is just a byproduct of that. So if you're looking for a quality in a person, then think about what you really want. And then look for the person that could fulfill those real thoughts, those inner, deep most thoughts that you have about yourself and your future. and that'll answer your question. That's
You're so smart.
That's my point of view.
You're so smart. I knew there was a reason I married you.
Yeah.
That's true. How is anyone that you are going to encounter in life expected to know what you want if you don't? So good question. And like I said, we only have 30 minutes, so we're going to keep them going. We got quite a few questions to go down the line. For those of you that have joined the live, thank you. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining in. We are relationship talking. Whether you are married, you want to be married, hope to be married soon, you're dating, or even if you're single. There's a bunch of questions coming in, and I want us to build a strong foundation together so that you can live happily evermore. If you are not familiar with us, there's a lot of play. Our last name is Moore, and we play on that. I love it. I love the last name. Thank you for giving it to me. So the next question comes in from a dating person. As someone who is dating, what signs indicate that a relationship is ready for marriage? Oof. I had no signs. I will speak from when it comes to us. I went through a phase in my life where I was just completely just starting my faith walk, wanting different, wanting to do the opposite of insanity, not doing the same things I always did and expecting a different result. I decided I was ready for my husband. I was ready for a change. But at the same time that I was praying for my husband, I needed to make sure that I readied myself to be the wife that this perfect man that God was going to give me needed me to be. What signs indicate that a relationship is ready for marriage? First, you have to look within yourself. Are you ready for marriage? Yes, you are. You have this plan and you have this idea of what you want or what you're looking for. But are you ready for what you are asking for? Are you prepared to handle everything that comes with what you are asking for? So I think ultimately the signs all point to you. I knew that when I met my husband, who was not my husband at the time, that I was looking for my husband. I was ready. That doesn't mean the first one to come along, that was the one that I was going to marry. I was not easy prey, so to speak. You can, I'm sure you could let them know I was not very nice. Although I was ready and I was looking. So it's the signs all point to you. If you are ready, it's the laws of attraction, what you are ready for, what you prepare yourself for, what you speak out of your mouth. That is what is attracted to you. That is what comes to you. So there is no specific sign that indicates, oh yes, this is the one, he's the one, she's the one. Are you the one? And that's, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
That's cool. I like that. What signs indicate that a relationship is ready for marriage? I could just give you my own perspective on that because I've been through some stuff, right? And
just a little bit.
I've been through a little bit of stuff. And
we see.
Yeah. And what you talking about?
You're great. He has a grace. I'm sorry.
So with me going through my little bit of stuff, I know that my little bit of stuff told me I ain't never doing that again, because this is my one right here. You know what I'm saying? This is my wife, my beautiful wife. The Lord blessed me with. Finally, I got the one for me. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad because she could be just like me. And
No.
So anyway, but I'll put it to you like this. What signs? For me, it wasn't so much of a sign, it was a feeling. You know what I mean? I knew what I didn't want. And in regards to what I didn't want, I knew what I wasn't going to put up with, what I didn't want to deal with, But I also know that, time is fleeting and it's going fast. You know what I mean? And I know one of the things that I really didn't want was to grow old alone. You know what I mean? So I knew that what I really wanted was out there, and it's just you got to be open-minded to seeing the path that's laid out for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to get into scriptures and all that kind of stuff, but there's some stuff. There's some stuff that resonates with me, And when I stay focused on who I am and who I'm becoming and how I'm walking and how I'm moving on this earth, then I have to be open-minded to what's being presented to me, because that's going to call me to the new page, to the new path of what's ahead of me. And so I don't think that there's any signs per se that's going to be a blanket statement for everybody to go by, but when you know, and the signs are for you and you alone. And if you don't move on them signs, or you don't move on that thought, when the Most High is speaking to you, then you just gonna learn it your own way. You're gonna go in your own little pace. But
what was your sign for me?
My sign was, I can't even say a sign. It was just, okay, I'll say this. There was phrases that she was using that were things that I used to say when I was a kid, and it was like I thought I made that up, but she would say them. There was she would laugh at certain things that most people won't think are funny, but I used to think was funny, and I'd be like, I look at her like, what's going on here? So there was little things that was happening in the back of my mind of what she was doing that made me be more aware and pay more attention to who this woman was. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I moved closer with no regard to the walls that I put up when it came to dating or meeting other women.
Just to enter vows. And that's something that we will get into later on. There's a lot of questions that I want to get through, but just a little side note to get you something to prepare for what's to come in these live talks with us, or these live little segments with us. When we initially started dating, his mindset was that I will never get married again. I may be his only wife, but I was not his first. And so there were inner vows that were set in place that I will never do that again. The hurt was too great. The time spent is just gone. You can never get that back. But there are inner vows that we set in place that go up just like walls that we need to break down and break through in order to move forward. And so that was one of his. And as far as a sign that was given that indicated it was, a statement that was made by him in the early part of our relationship, knowing that my goal, I was set out to find my husband, and I met this man who said, I will never, ever marry again. And that was established. Both points of views were established right there up front. And we agreed to just cross that bridge when we come to it and moved forward. And I will tell you, within a year of us dating, he did propose. We had never discussed marriage. We had never discussed marriage again after the initial first date of describing our purpose. And here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Okay,
there's a lot to this whole, like, my mind is still moving, and I think we should just go ahead.
Okay, so the next question that comes to us is someone that is newly engaged, or newly married. It's an and or. So this is what was the biggest adjustment you faced in the first year of marriage? Oh my goodness! And again, before we get into this question, I see you guys join in the chat. We are going to get better administratively and be able to tag team this. We're not ignoring you. I appreciate you for joining. This is a relationship talk. We call it Let's Talk More. More is our last name. It is a play on the last name. We are going to do that often. So if you're not familiar with us, you're going to get familiar real quick. So this little chat that we got is called Let's Talk More. It's based on relationship advice. We're going to give it. We're going to get it. And let's just grow old together. Build this solid foundation and stay together. That's the only way to really see change, the necessary change that is required for us to continue moving forward as a unit, as a union. So the question that we have is, what was the biggest adjustment you faced within the first year of marriage? I'm going to take this one. I'm going to start off with this one. That was a huge adjustment for me. So I met this man later in life. I had already had my child, and I was well adjusted to moving solo. I had been successful in business. I consider myself pretty successful in my motherhood, my parenting. I had a solid union with my daughter, who was about to enter into high school. I had just purchased my first house as a single mother, and I was just rising in my career. I was used to moving solo, and on the other hand, I met this man who, for lack of time, my equal, and so we met, we fell in love, we got married, and then it was the adjustments. And when I'm speaking to the singles, the daters, and the engaged couples, and even the newly married couples, all of the fluff that they give about marriage and the bride and all of this planning, and everybody's gushing over you, that's true, and it happens, and then it's over, and then there's just you two, and then you're left to figure it out. And marriage is tough. Marriage is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it and be successful. So everyone does it, and it doesn't last. This is a forever thing. We don't take those vows lightly, and so marriage is tough. Marriage is tough when it comes to your own space. I think we attended church, and the pastor spoke on marriage one time, and I think he put it the best to me, where it described one person, one think of a human body, an empty human body, and then taking two separate bodies and merging them and forcing them to fit into this one body. Marriage is a union of two people that become one. That is an uncomfortable squeeze. When you're used to moving solo and operating solo, not answering to anybody, not thinking about anyone. I mean, it was me and my child, but it's just, you develop a routine and you become comfortable in it. So involving someone else in the mix, it's like, I only wanted you when I wanted you. You know, when we were dating, you set specific dates and times to meet up. It's not always. It's not all the time. And if you're not there at a certain time, where are you at, checking in and doing all of that stuff? It's tough. And I would say the first year is probably the toughest. But if you can make it through that one, I think you could withstand it all. And there's just, I just don't feel like we could get into it. I've got examples.
What was that?
This is our first live. He doesn't know. He's not a TikToker, y'all. So these little gifts, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
What's going on?
But it's just...
what was the question again?
So the question is, what is the biggest adjustment you faced within the first year of marriage? I'm going to let you take it because I'm a little bit long-winded.
The biggest adjustment. Right. That's a never-ending question right there.
But the question is the first year. You don't speak on yesterday. Right here. What's the biggest adjustment you faced within the first year of marriage?
Oh, so okay. I'll say this. For the both of us, we had a lot going on that first year. A lot. Think about it.
No, I remember. I have to think about it.
So I don't know about y'all out there, but for the first year for our marriage, so I got 2 children outside of us. She has 1 outside of us, and together we are blended.
It's our little.
What was that movie?
It's called Blended.
Yeah,
it was called Blended.
That was hilarious.
That is literally our theme movie.
Yeah, so
we are blended.
So the crazy part about
blending.
it though, our children, like they meet up too. Like, so my 2 are 2 years apart, and her 1 is right in the middle. So you know what I'm saying, they're like, their ages are 27, 26, and 25.
No,
hey,
no. And
that's what we doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was one thing, is like just figuring that part out. Then another thing was, we both, that first year, we both lost a lot of people that were close to us, that were at our wedding. Like, how many people passed away that first year?
It was too many to count.
It was at least, what?
It was at least 5 within the first year. And one being my stepfather, who raised me, and literally walked me down the aisle when we got back from our honeymoon.
Yeah. And also one being brother. My brother, like,
it was one right after the other.
It was my brother was murdered.
Okay. No,
by the guy that brought him to our wedding.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's a lot of loss.
There's a lot. We went through that first year. We went through a whole lot. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the kids blending. We could talk about, you know, the family dynamic between our two families not getting along. It was just a lot that was thrown at us, and we basically, I'll put it to you like this: it don't matter what struggles you go through, if you are focused and determined that this is the one for you, like I knew she was for me, then all that other stuff don't even matter. So whatever you dealing with in your first year, remember the vows you took to the person that you with. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
Did you mean that? Was that something that you really meant, or was it just you going through the motions because you want to be married? And if you did that, then you need to check yourself. Because at the end of the day, we ain't got no time to be wasting. Time is our biggest commodity out here. You know what I'm saying? And once time is gone, it's gone. So don't play with it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I knew what I wanted. I spoke to my children before I asked her to marry me. I spoke to her daughter before I asked her to marry me. And it didn't matter what anybody else thought. You know what I'm saying? I was determined. I was focused on what I wanted, who I wanted to be in my life. And the outside circumstances and situations don't mean nothing.
Nothing.
So that's it.
So the biggest adjustment that we face in the first year of our marriage, or that you will face in the first year of marriage, is you need to prepare yourself to be tried by fire. What may. That's the biggest adjustment you will have to make. In life, when you're moving solo, you just deal. You roll with the punches, so to speak. You do the same thing in marriage. But learning how to move in unison. You can't just go left and leave your partner, moving forward. So that's the biggest adjustment you will have to make, and within the first year, because if you don't adjust within the first year,
it's a continuous adjustment.
It is a continuous adjustment.
No one and done.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one that you will have to make in the first year is learning how to adjust and go from learning how. It is learned. That is not something that I have never met anyone that has been blessed with moving in unison.
I'll say to sum up that whole question, that'll be the perfect answer. The biggest adjustment is learning how to adjust. Period. And you take that for the rest of your life with the person that you with. Anyway, what's the next question?
All right. So again, thank you all that have joined. We are not ignoring you. We're thanking you. Thank you for the gifts, the universe. These things, we're gonna have to learn these, because like I said, this is our first official live. So
and I don't know what's going on.
You just keep seeing things flash across the screen. But for those of you that have just joined the channel, thank you and welcome. This is us, who we are. Together. This is a relationship chat. We call it Let's Talk More. More is a play on our last names. And this is for married couples that have been in the game for a long time. This is for newly married, newly engaged. This is for couples that are dating. This is even for singles. We are just gonna talk it out. We take our questions. We're collecting them throughout the week, and then we go live and we talk about them. So the next question that we have is from a married person. And as a married person wanting to grow, the first question is, how do you continue to grow together instead of growing apart? That's a good one. I think it was a little easier for us finding each other later in life, but I will speak to the young married couples, get through everything their parents want them to do, go through, college, graduate, and find their person and want to get married and start their life. I think it's very difficult when you're young starting out, because what I've seen, and even what I've seen in our own children, you get married and boom, immediately you start having children and you become this family, and then you're living this dream because that's what you wanted, and you don't really sit back and realize how much time and energy goes into that family and raising each other. And you have to remember to keep that connection with each other. Remember your vows. Remember, I wake up and remember my vows daily. Like, we found each other later in life, which is why I say it was a little easier, because at that time our children needed us less. They were not grown, but they needed us less. They are now grown. And so there is that ability to keep our connection going, to keep that refreshing of the mind. 37 years. That is amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Dottie says she's been married for 37 years and they made a lifetime promise. When you married, I feel that. I see that. I honestly commend that. We are facing year 9 married, 10 together. Feels like a lifetime, and I would guarantee you anyone that has ever met us or come into contact with us would feel like it was forever. Like this was my person. This was always my person. It just took me a while to find him, or him a while to find me, however you want to phrase that. But it just staying connected, whether you are young and starting off creating your family and doing things, just make time, just make sure to make time for each other, because at the end of the day, those children are going to grow up and they're going to start their lives, and when they leave the nest, you two are going to be the ones that are left, and you don't want to ever wake up one morning and look at each other and realize I don't even know you. Like, I think that would just be the hardest thing. Even now, we are busy. I work full time. He works full time. We do a lot. I just can't think of it all right now because I'm trying to rest through. We do a lot. We've just really had to focus on our health and our just our overall rest. But at the same time, we have to remember, they're still in us, and I don't ever want that light to die out. You know what? And think about remember when. No, remember tomorrow. Because we got plans. Husbands, date your wives. Wives, date your husbands. Surprise them. Make them feel special. Remind them of why you fell in love with them. Do all the things that made them fall in love with you. All of them.
Yeah. She's crazy, y'all. She's crazy.
That's not a nice thing to say.
I see this person saying when you marry later, it's easier. I don't know. I guess.
I don't know that I would say it was easy.
I guess
I don't know. I would say it was easy. Easier. I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. You do.
I'll say this.
I don't think so.
It ain't even about when. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it to you like this. Think about some people that you know who matured faster than others. Think about, you know what I'm saying, some people that you know that's old and still act like a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's not about when. It's about where are you mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's not about anything else but you. If you just focus on who you are, like whoever you are, you could be the wife, or you could be the husband, and some of y'all could be the husband and the wife and the wife. I don't know, whatever's going on. If you think about who you are and know who you are and know what you really want, like, so I'm determined to live a happy life. I'm determined to live a happy life with my beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I stay focused on what I want day by day. So early in the morning, I'm like, this is going to be a good day. You know what I mean? And it don't matter what happens. It don't matter how bad her day is.
It does matter.
It don't matter.
It matters.
If I say it's gonna be a good day, it's gonna be a good day, and I ain't gonna let her or anybody else get in the way of that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm gonna bring the atmosphere of a good day to her. If she's having a bad day, I'm having a good day, babe. Let's get into my atmosphere and get out of yours. You know. So at the end of the day, it ain't about when you get married or what you choose to do with whatever's going on. It's just you make a decision. Make a decision on what you want, how you want the outcome of life to play in your favor, and then just expect the best results of any given situation, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a learning experience, and if you take that as such, then you can only progress.
Only progress.
I just leave it like that.
Your objective is to move forward.
Move forward.
Keep moving forward. And with that, it looks like we are out of time. We've got a lot of questions that we did not get to, but I believe that we touched on every category.
That was a quick 30. That wasn't that bad. I was all nervous.
Thank you all for your questions that came in. Thank you everyone that had joined the channel and sent us those little fancy gifts. I'm gonna have to look into what those are and actually send you a personalized thank you. We appreciate you. We're gonna keep this segment going, so please continue to send in your questions. We love them and they interact, the engagement. We appreciate you. And you know, love, laughter, and happily evermore. That is the motto. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for accepting ours. Still choosing each other every single day. That is a major takeaway. But with that, Team Morris signing off. With love, thank you all for joining.
All love. Wishing you the most and more than yesterday. All love. Hey, what the hell?
You cut him off? You cut him off.